Just killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system. Since move back left, you don't want to change from the 4-3-3. Boom, boom, boom. What's going on? What's going on? Back again on the JJ. What's going on? What's going on? Guys, it's a hot one today, man. Like, he's about to melt. We got, you know what I mean? You got the regular cast. We got Ash. We got G in the building. How you guys doing, man?
Yeah, good.
You tricky, bro. Like hot, but I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, good.
Sticky.
And guess what, guys? We got two special guests in the building today. You got Jay Kappa in the building. Jason, we got from the Holmsdale end, the proper Palace fans. I think it would be great to have them on, obviously, on the show to get this preview done. I'm so grateful they're on the show, man. How you guys doing, man?
Boys, I'm blessed. Thank you for having us, man. It's a pleasure. You've seen your page grow and grow, so it's good to be on there.
Yeah, good as well, man. Thank you again for inviting. Ready to get stuck in.
Stuck in.
As I say, guys, please, everyone in the comments, everyone in the chat, please, the entry for this show is just a like. Please smash the like. We smash the likes. It means that we're doing, proper things on the channel. And it's a Sunday, so it's a late one, so might not be that too many people on, but they're going to catch on the replay anyway. So please keep smashing the like. Roms will be joining us, but it will be a bit later on because he's just coming from the Chelsea-Tottenham game. So when he comes on, we'll bring him through. But guys, I'm talking to obviously G and Ash. We've got obviously a big game now, considering the result last week against Palace, innit? Palace, the bogey team since 2014. Since 2014, Bolassi's been touching the floor doing a madness.
Hey,
fullback for years. Madnesses. How you feeling about the game? Like from a Liverpool perspective first, then we're gonna obviously ask Jason and Brian. Man.
Go on, Ash. I'll let you start.
I was gonna say I wanted you to go first. I want to hear what you're gonna say. Do you know what? I've never got into a Palace game before thinking maybe we're gonna draw this one because Liverpool just aren't filling me with confidence right now, and Palace, they're like, even though it was 2-0 against Arsenal, they still played well. They're moving well at the minute, Palace. So I'm not looking forward to this one, JJ. I'm really not.
Same, man. It's bro, the same as Ash. Like that first game didn't fill me with no confidence. So coming into a Palace game, and Palace are a weird team, man. If they're on it, then they're on it. That's it for the whole game, kind of thing. I just think if we don't start well, it could be a very long evening. I promise you.
Look at the smiles on Jason and Brian's face by the time we were saying this.
I'm not confident at all, man. I can't lie to you. I let Jerry, give us a shout, but I'm not confident at all. But yeah, go on, boys.
Yeah, me as well. I don't know, man. I think we might come out with a draw.
Bro,
You've got to be too humble.
Nah, man.
Stop being so nice to us. Stop being so nice, Jerry, bro.
You know what it is? Palace always turn out a performance against big teams, especially recently. They have done, like, even the Arsenal game, and we'll obviously get onto, the Palace, but Palace, even last game, like, you played well for Arsenal. Yeah, first 20 minutes they were on you guys and really kind of, showed that, some of the sides played really well. But as soon as you made those couple adjustments and then you came up for that second half, it was all Palace. And to be fair, you could have easily, got a result from that game. I mean, if you did, no one would have looked at it and been like, you know what, Palace stole a result here. Like, you guys looked on top. I mean, we'll get onto it, but Anderson at the back, I think he's going to cause a lot of problems with Liverpool.
Top player, mate.
Top
quarterback.
Unlock.
Top player. But all right, quick one. Before I get into the chat, I'll just shout everyone that's in here. So Phil, Ravi, Azan, Ilyas, big up. Now, how did you guys? This is a question I've always said to Jason, innit? But I know Jason from school, so I'm in uni as well. So big up Jason. But I wanted to know, how the hell did you get into Palace? How did you guys become Palace fans? And
so much time.
Diverge away from the top six.
Fair enough.
It's top five at the time, like United, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool.
Yeah.
How did you guys decide? You know what? We're gonna go local because
Yeah.
It's against the grain. It's a bit.
So, like you said, staying local, South London boys. You know, it's the closest team that we support, other than Millwall, for obvious reasons. We ain't gonna support Millwall, are we? And then we know my cousin from school, Rooch. He played for Palace when he was younger, so I got free tickets with him. I had a friend at school who supported Palace, so he brought me to games with him at like 13, 14. So it was more like a I didn't pick it from the start. It was more like I got introduced to it. That's how I got into Palace, really. But yeah, you're right. Like everyone around me supported the big teams, but I didn't fall for that trap there.
And Brian, how about you, man?
Yeah, so for me, mine's kind of similar because my dad, he's an Arsenal fan. To be fair, growing up, I was more on the Arsenal side, but it was because I actually lived Thornton Heath, like around the corner from the stadium. It was my primary school. They used to give like kids for £1 when Palace won the championship, like 08, 09 time. So just through that, I just used to go with my uncle who just started taking me. And then because it was so easy to go Palace and just the tickets were cheap, I just started going and going, kept on going, and I still keep on going now. So that's how it was really.
Right. How long did you had your season ticket for now? Is it 6 years?
Yeah, for a minute still, yeah. I said like the first year was the year before promotion.
2012.
The first year I had it. Yeah, like 2013, 2012, yeah.
Wow, which is mad when you think about it.
Sorry, Jay, even to cut you, yeah, but even just hearing that, like season ticket, do you know how I wish we could get a season ticket?
Yeah.
Like,
Jesus. That's dope.
To be fair, only recently, like the last year, Palace has become harder to get a season ticket. Like there's now a waiting list. So I've had mine for like 9 years now, and like the last 8 years, it's been very easy to get a season ticket. But like last year, you have to put yourself on the list now, and it's a bit.
Is it more of a demand? I'm guessing.
Yeah, more of a demand. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Jerry, have you never thought about maybe getting like a season ticket for another club, like a local club, like getting a Palace season ticket? Because I've done it before. I got a Bolton season ticket way back when, just so I could watch Premier League matches because I love football. Do you know what I mean? But then I found myself like slowly like turning into a secret Bolton fan.
Yeah. I'm on the waiting list for Brentford.
Are you? How long that waiting list?
Because I live literally 10 minutes away from the.
So G, you support. So G supports Liverpool, Arsenal, Brentford. Who else is it, G?
Bro, I live literally 10 minutes away. I couldn't not even try.
That's it.
To get the thing.
Like if you love football, you love football, innit?
Yeah.
Now, do you know what's mad with me? Like, I thought about getting Charlton's the closest stadium to me, like just around the corner, but they're League One. Now I could go, but the problem is, I've been to a couple games. Like I have, like they've done a similar type of scheme because obviously they're trying to get people through the doors, like they did probably back in Palace when it was obviously Palace in the Championship. It's a step below, but they're trying to get people through the door, so they give away a lot of free tickets. So like the local grassroots football teams, like my little brother's teams and stuff, they'll go and give away the tickets, and they'll be like, cool. Like, hold on. Before I get into that, we got the man himself. He's back in the stream.
In the building.
What's going on? Fresh from obviously the Chelsea Tottenham game. We'll get stuck into that at the end, but as I said, they've got obviously the grassroots kind of schemes where they go and give out tickets. I've been a couple of times, and it's not bad. Like it's good to obviously go to a football game, especially the seats are really, really good. Literally by the side. It's committing to that. You're obviously it's not that expensive, but you're committing to, you know what, I'm going to Charlton, this, that. I'm gonna have to miss, the odd Liverpool game if I'm going to the game because X, Y, and Z. But I mean, to be fair, now that I think about it, I'm upset that I never got a Palace season ticket because now, that investment from you, Brian, back then, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it works.
Think about
heavy
it
now.
You're like essentially Crystal Palace are now an established Premier League team. So to even have the opportunity to go to the games and see the likes of City on a consistent basis and Liverpool and your Arsenals, and that's from that football perspective, that's mad. So yeah, 100%, man. But
come like Bitcoin.
Huh?
So they come like Bitcoin. Jesus Christ.
Bitcoin, man, it's mad. I'm going to run through the comments and then obviously I'm going to ask Jason and Brian what they've. I've got some questions about Palace, so we'll get into that. But Azan saying he's excited for the live, so big up, Azan. We've got Usman as well saying, do you think Nunes will start? Yeah, we'll get onto starting lineup, so not to worry. We got Ilyas saying Nunes hat trick incoming. Yeah, so his face gets squeamish as he heard Nunes. Do you know what I mean? Name, so big up. We got Phil Bander saying, if Hendo Firmino start, we lose or draw. Simple as that. Boy. Gonna have to get into that. And yeah, obviously Roms, that's obviously just hopped in saying smash the like. So please, guys, smash the like. Now, I wanted to ask, it's been obviously transition. Well, last season was like a big transition year for Crystal Palace, obviously, changing from the old guard with Hodgson and that type of team and moving towards Vieira now. How has that transition been from a Crystal Palace fan perspective? Because for us, and I don't want to speak for G and Ash, but I assume we look at them thinking, right, you're playing better football. I mean, you're attracting a different type of player. You're seeing, I mean, all that type of thing. But how has the transition been for Palace fans? Because I know that a lot of the time with football, there's a thin line between playing really good football and then losing the do you know what I mean, the kind of the Premier League status, because you could play really good football and then all of a sudden drop off. And we saw it with a few teams, like even Wigan back in the day, play really nice football, but then don't get results. So how was that for you guys? I mean, Brian or Jason, any one of you guys can take that question.
Go on, Brian.
Oh, I would say when Hodgson was here, the last season of Hodgson, the football was shocking. Like nobody was enjoying it. It was a very hard to watch. And just through Vieira coming, when he first came, it was a bit, Palace fans were a bit techie because we lost to Chelsea and then we drew with Brentford. So it wasn't even a great start, but we saw the process. And I think that's like what Arsenal fans are talking about now, the process with Arteta. Even though it was sticky at the start, it's getting better. And through Vieira being an immense baller, he can attract ballers to the club. So you can attract guys like Michael Elise, for example. Hodgson's not looking at Elise and buying him. I honestly wholeheartedly believe Hodgson won't look at those sort of profile of players. And the way we're playing now, the end of last season, got to the semi-final of the FA Cup. Disappointing to lose that, but we're looking at this season as if our ceiling is European spot. If everything goes to well, that's where we can end up. So I'd say we're happy where it's going now, but we've got a hard start this season, so probably got low expectations, but it's been good so far.
How about yourself, Jason? Would you just echo what Brian's saying?
Yeah, definitely echo what he says. I think with Hodgson, like Palace fans knew we would never go down. Like we would stay 14th to 16th for the whole season for the next 5 years. But with Vieira, it was a risk. We could either finish 9th or finish 20th. So that was what people were scared about. And but I think everyone was ready for a change because Hodgson ball was honestly awful. Like one game I remember so bad from Hodgson's era was the 7-0 against you guys at Sellers Park.
We know the pain of Hodgson as well, by the way.
We know the pain because that was an awful game. 7-0 at home.
You know what, Jason? Even the scoreline doesn't really reflect our performance there, because I think these few will agree. Even though we won 7-0, it was still quite shots.
Yeah, we just
wasn't a game where you thought we would win 7 that day.
Like, any shot was going in, but it wasn't like we dominated you guys. Like you guys were still having chances.
Henderson, bro, like come on, man.
It's mad, man.
Yeah, but definitely Vieira. Like for me, even like if there was a massive risk of getting relegated, I still would take Vieira just because.
I was literally just about to ask that. Like, that balance between like playing nice football, but the like sacrificing Premier League.
Yeah.
From a Palace fan's perspective, would you say, you prefer to play the nice football?
Yeah, definitely.
And be threatened with relegation as opposed to that finishing like mid-table or just below that, but playing the football that you're playing with Hodgson.
Bro, I'll tell you what, like I'd rather. It sounds mad, but I'd rather be in the scrap relegation than finish mid-table. That scrap, like it has a bit of fun this season. Finishing mid-table, like what are you, just a team that makes up the numbers, like? But obviously, I wouldn't want to stay in the championship. But having Vieira brings that excitement to the team, I think. Yeah. But onwards and upwards for him, I think top 10 next 3 seasons should definitely be our aim.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. I can imagine. Now, obviously, last game that you guys played, as I spoke about, it was obviously Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
How did you guys find that game? Like, obviously, I spoke about it like at the beginning, like just overshadow it quickly. But did you guys feel like you played well, or did you think it was like, you know what, we didn't really play as well as we could have? How did you going into that game as well? Like, that's a fully loaded question, but do you guys feel like you've worked the transfer market well? Do you think you've gone and plugged the holes that you feel needed to in the squad? How was your feeling? Because obviously, going into that game, Arsenal obviously were the talk, and obviously they signed Jesus and this player, that player, and they looked quite like they bolstered their squad. I mean, whereas from a Palace perspective, I'm not really sure what happened. Obviously, we're still seeing Zaha playing. While the Mateta, obviously, that Mateta signed on from last season. So, like, how was that for you guys?
Cool. So in terms of the actual game, I wasn't there that day. I was in Colombia, but Brian was at the game, so maybe he will have more insight on that.
Yeah.
But going into the game, losing Conor Gallagher was always going to be a massive loss for us. And we replaced him with the Corey from Lens, who Palace fans thought was a similar sort of player to him, like box to box, energetic midfielder. But watching the Arsenal game, he's a DM and he doesn't get up and down the pitch.
Yeah.
So not having that engine in the midfield, we knew Arsenal would be a tough game. And the first half an hour, you saw it like they were absolutely popping the ball. We couldn't get near Xhaka or Partey. So yeah, it was a bit tough. And I think going into the game, I had maybe a draw maximum because Arsenal have that excitement from pre-season. Jesus got 7 goals, so it was always going to be tough. But in terms of the actual game, Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I echo you. I think going into the game, we was a bit blindsided, but we knew it'd be tough because when we faced Arsenal last year, we demolished them. Yeah, this was a different Arsenal side. They had obviously Zinchenko, they had Jesus, but also we were a bit disappointed in the transfer window because, like Jay said, we haven't actually replaced Conor Gallagher yet. We still got fullback problems as well. Like Mitchell on the left going forward is shocking. Like
don't mock Klein. Don't mock Klein.
Really?
Don't get Klein.
Listen,
obviously Klein, obviously big up.
I love Mitchell, but I've been saying going forward.
Boy,
doesn't pass the halfway line, does he?
Defending is excellent, but
yeah. And also Klein as well. Klein, I like Klein, and he's a nice guy. Palace through and through. Obviously played for Liverpool and that, but he's not the level to get to the next level. So we've got fullback problems, and also Jordan Ayew starting as well. Another issue we've got. There's no Michael Elise. Yeah, I mean, so we were confident going to the game. It's a home game, first game of the season. We have a good record against Arsenal at home, but we were disappointed, I would say, because the first 20 minutes conceding another set piece, which is a big issue we had, and we just let Arsenal literally dominate us. Arsenal could have threw the game away
2 or 3 goals.
But second half, we did much better, but we didn't create enough chances, but we controlled the game. So I'll say 50-50.
I got a question for the both of you. That would you say you don't have that prolific kind of 10 to 15 goal striker? Because when I watch Edouard at Celtic, I know the leagues, there's a goal thing class. But when I watch Edouard at Chelsea, I thought, not Chelsea, at Celtic, I thought, this is a player here. And after that brace against Spurs last season, I thought, he's not really taken off. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to know you two's thoughts on him.
Yeah.
Edouard, I like Edouard. He's a good player, but the thing is with Edouard, he's just not physically got it. For me, he can play in the Prem, but physically he just can't hack it. Like Mateta, he's big, he's strong, he's quick. Edouard, he's more technically gifted. He reminds me of like a Kai Havertz kind of type. Can get bullied off the ball quite easily, but technically very, very good. And when Mateta plays, he causes problems. He just keeps defenders occupied. And I think if Edouard wants to start, he's got to add that to his game a bit more because he can go a bit missing sometimes. Like in the first half, he only had that one chance, but other than that, he wasn't really in the game. Mateta comes on, we're instantly more of a threat because he's going to run in the channels. He's going to, nudge defenders and keep them occupied. That's what I'd say. How about you, Chase?
Yeah, do you know what? Mateta doesn't look pretty on the eye, but I think he could be a 10 to 15 goals season player. I think he's clinical. He doesn't like with Benteke. Obviously, he's gone now, but he needed 4 chances to score a goal for us. Mateta, if you watch him closely, 1 or 2 chances, he's bagging. And if we play to his strengths, which we are trying to last year, then I think he can get 10 to 15 goals. But obviously, he's sharing with Edouard up front, so maybe he won't get as much starts, which limits his goal opportunities. But I still think we need another striker, definitely. 100%. Especially with Benteke going now as well. I mean, there's maybe some rumours with Ollie Watkins.
That
would be a signing.
You should have took Divock. You should have took Divock Origi. That's who you should have gone for.
AC Milan, right?
Nah, they need goals. They need goals.
You know, he got little divvy minutes. He got little divvy minutes yesterday. He came on like 87 minutes.
He didn't start. Oh, God.
Gallagher minutes. Gallagher minutes.
In regards to Gallagher, do you guys think that there's a big chance Gallagher comes back? Or do you guys sign him, or do you think that he's at Chelsea now for the foreseeable?
Yeah, I think there's another Loftus-Cheek where he's gonna try and obviously Loftus-Cheek was at Palace for like a year, went back to Chelsea and thought, listen, I've done a good year at Palace in the Premiership team. I can do it at Chelsea. Gallagher, same thing. I think. You know, he grew up there, since under 9s, got his boys there, Mason Mount, Trevor Chalobah. So I think he want to prove to himself that he can do it.
And also,
and even if he doesn't make it at Chelsea, I think he'll still think he can fall back at a bigger team than Palace. So I don't think that ship's gonna come back. What you, Brian?
say if Gallagher he has two options. If he wants to make the England team, come to Palace. If you don't, stay at Chelsea. Because if you look at Loftus-Cheek got into the World Cup squad because he was at Palace on loan that year.
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek ain't seen England ever since. Gallagher now, last week, he come on for 30 seconds against Everton. This week, he's come again. When he come on, they conceded. He's even bad luck now.
To be fair, he was scored today, though. He scored, got the assist as well. Could have got the assist.
True, but he's now that guy. All right, cool, Gallagher, come on, just make sure you don't give the ball away. You're coming on to us to waste time. That's the role he's got at Chelsea now. Unless there's
Brian's never really liked Gallagher.
Pain from Gallagher leaving.
Nah, Joe, last season, I said part when Palace fans were singing, sign him up. Brian was like, nope, I'm not singing that song. I
like Gallagher, but technically he's not great to watch, but I appreciate what he brings in it. Like the pressing is important. But he's like Henderson. You know when you rate guys for off the ball work, they're not really ballers. So
at least you understand.
Gallagher can get a goal though, innit? Like Gallagher can get a goal.
I'm not even rating Henderson from off the ball. I can't
Bro, more James Milner.
Yeah, true.
James Milner. But so obviously you guys got Doucouré now. Do you think you guys might not be signing Gallagher because you're trying to give Eze more of a run in the 8, and obviously you guys have Elise as well. That obviously I don't think he's played centrally for Palace as of yet because I've always seen him out wide, but. Maybe is he an option in there? Maybe.
At least he's option at 10. I wouldn't say he's not an 8 player. He's either 10 or right wing. I think the Doucouré signing has no impact on Gallagher for me because they're two different players. I think with Gallagher, I think we wanted to bring him back. It's just Gallagher wants to have a chance at Chelsea. That's what he's always said. He wants to play for Chelsea. That's where he sees his future at. But I feel like he's got to make his mind up, and he's got to make his mind up at the end of the day. I'll take him back, of course.
Okay, I hear that, man. All right, but going into obviously the Liverpool game, you guys haven't, as of recent, haven't had the best record against Liverpool.
Last 10 years, we haven't. Sorry, last 10 games, we haven't.
Yeah, last 10 games, it's been quite poor. But obviously before that, you guys essentially used to be our bogey team. Like every time we went up against Palace, it was like, all right, Liverpool's going to lose this game. Like something's going to go
nervous.
Wrong. You know what's crazy, Jerry? You know when we went 3 seasons in a row without losing at home, they were the previous team to beat us.
Yeah, exactly.
They were the previous team to win.
Exactly. So where do you guys feel that, from a Palace perspective, that Liverpool's gonna you're gonna find joy against Liverpool? Where do you think you could exploit us? Like when you look at Liverpool, I know Jason is not confident at all, but obviously if Palace were playing at their best, where do you think they're gonna find joy? Like is it the ball behind? Is it down the middle?
Yeah. Bro, listen, I've always said this. Wilfried Zaha is our best player. Get him the ball, isolate him with Trent. That's our best chance, I think. Isolate him with Trent. Obviously, Trent's a good defender, but Zaha... I mean, he's an okay defender, isn't he? He's an okay defender.
Trent's a good defender. I've just been saying
to be fair, do you know what? Yeah, I think James Milner is actually a better right back against Zaha than Trent is. But anyways,
please don't put Milner.
No,
in.
that's
what Milner said.
How mad that is. How mad that is that rival fans are saying that Milner's better than Trent at right.
No. With Zaha. With
Zaha then. But that's what I mean. You'd rather Trent play. That's what I'm trying to say. That's mad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely, 100%. Because Trent,
there's mistakes in Trent though, innit? I think every rival fan would, because with Milner and Gomez, you're going to get a solid defensive player, aren't you? Like, no one's going to try and get him behind. It's mad saying Milner, but like Trent has mistakes in him because he gets so high forward. Zaha with his pace in behind, that's where every team tries to get in.
Yeah.
So
it'll be Zaha on the left, or maybe Elise if he's fit. I think that's where we get our joy from.
I agree with Jason. Zaha. Trent's even said in the past, hardest players come up against Wilfried Zaha. He don't want to see him. Even Milner, I don't want to say Milner because Zaha's got Milner twice.
Trust me, the game where we
just say it.
At Anfield, Milner had a great game against Zaha, bro. That it rattled me as well.
That's probably like 1 out of 10. But Zaha's the main threat. I also think if Michael Elise plays, he's cooking Robertson. because Michael
Yeah,
Elise
100%.
is
Listen,
he will cook Robertson. I'm putting it.
Really?
Even the game
Yeah.
last year. he balled.
see Michael Elise, yeah. Like, I don't know if you agree, Jason Brand. I rate him so highly. I honestly believe this could possibly be his last year at you lot. That's how
Yeah.
highly I rate him. I think next summer someone's gonna come in for
agree.
him because
Yeah,
I don't
so-
think people realize how good this player actually is.
Bro.
Baller. He's scary.
Such a player.
Have you watched him
I
live?
was saying we should have signed. I said we should sign someone like Elise, like almost like a Diaz, but I feel like Elise has a better end product than a Diaz. That kind of makes sense. Like, and he's on the right hand side. I think Elise is hard.
Yeah, that's mad. That's mad. Because I was gonna say when you're on Zaha, and it's mad I'm saying this, but when I was watching the Arsenal game, I don't know whether it was just the game, but I was thinking Zaha's lost, and I was tweeting it as well. I was like, Zaha's lost a bit of that explosivity that he had, you know, because he was up against Ben White and he didn't really get the better of him. Like he had to come in central a lot more than I've seen Zaha before, where Zaha usually used to just isolate you on the wing and just get down the byline and then cut in as he gets closer to goal. Where I saw him
Ben
coming
White's class,
more central now. Yeah, but Ben White for pace.
Yeah,
Like, I would have thought back in the day, Zaha, if you gave that, especially with the high line that Arsenal were playing, you give Zaha that space in behind, he's going to exploit it. He's going to exploit it. So I don't know what you guys think. Do you think Zaha's maybe on a decline? Because you know, a couple of years ago, there was rumors, talk about him, obviously.
How old is
You know what, Jerry? Yeah, that point is actually so good because there's the one time he did beat Ben White. Ben White tugged him back and he was on the yellow. Then I thought Zaha, like, isolate him even more, get him on the 1-on-1, and he didn't really do that enough. And I thought you've literally got your man on the yellow, so you're right, Jerry. You had to kind of tuck in a bit more. You couldn't really beat him on the outside.
Yeah,
But I think JJ, you're being a bit harsh. I think because last year Zaha got 14 Premier League goals, his highest ever goals. So he's kind of refined his game. Because if you remember, like 14 PL goals. Yeah. I mean, people don't know this. 14 PL goals. Nah.
Mad.
Last 3 years, Zaha's got 10 plus PL goals. Last 3 out of 4 seasons. People don't know this.
Now 14, I take it back then. I didn't know you got 14.
no, you know what? I think you are right in terms of like he doesn't seem as explosive anymore, but I think he's changed his game on purpose. I think last year he played down the middle much more, and I think Patrick Vieira, like he sort of changed his style of play. He doesn't really like to go 1-on-1 as much. He likes to like sort of use a space rather than using the ball to beat his man.
Jace, do you remember when people used to say on Match of the Day, Zaha always got his skills, no end product? He's now brought the end product.
Now
Now
he's
he's
got
got his
more.
skills.
Yeah, now he's got more.
He's got
Yeah. That can't win.
Isn't it?
So it's difficult. So you're saying, so from a past perspective, it's really the only real hope you see is Zaha then isolating.
That's the top hope.
I would say,
Do you think maybe Mateta? Do you think maybe seeing that Fulham game and what Mitrovic did to our backline? Do you think Mateta could do something similar against our backline, especially with the distribution from Anderson at the back? Because I'm not gonna lie, quality player. When he's at Fulham, like baller, and then obviously at Palace, he just suits the style of play so well. Like you transformed your defense because now you play at the back so like way much more confidently, and it's like, do you press him because you know he's gonna find a pass, or do you drop off and don't allow that ball in behind? And it's a difficult conundrum, man.
Yeah. All I say is that ball, Anderson, that switch to Zaha is going to be on all day long because Liverpool play a high line. So there's going to be space in behind. So Anderson, if he gets time on the ball, he's finding Zaha or Elise, whoever's playing, even Mateta. And I feel like you said, Mateta, he will occupy. I think Kanate is injured. He's injured. He's got a couple of injuries at the back as
Matip
well.
might be injured as well. So Gomez
Matip's
might
injured.
even play at centre back next to Van Dijk.
It's not on Matt. Matip is out, bro.
Well,
Bro.
It's no
I think
man.
So with your back four adjustments, Mateta, he'll just occupy you and you won't get a rest. And with Zaha, and if Elise plays, I'm stressing this point, if Elise plays, you have problems. But the only thing is that we might not get a lot of the ball because it's Liverpool will dominate the ball. We're going to play on the counter attack.
Wait, Brian, Elise, he trained all last week.
All last week, with the squad, first.
It's a bit. First game back Liverpool. He'll probably be off the bench. I think he'll play Ayew because he's a better team defender. But
how about last player I wanted to obviously talk about before we move on to like the Liverpool side of things is Eze. A lot of talk about Eze. Obviously, he had that really good season when he started, and then obviously suffered the injury. since then, how do you feel like he's been or adapted to this more kind of not defensive role, but the deeper role that he's had?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I think you actually mentioned it earlier, Jerry. Conor Gallagher being at Palace sort of hindered Eze's development at the team because they played a similar role last year. And Eze came back from injury. He fully recovered, but he wasn't making the starting 11 for quite a few weeks. Played in the FA Cup, played in a few like last 20-minute games. And since Gallagher's gone, Eze's been like the main guy this season. Well, obviously like in training pre-season. And I think he looks all right. I think he looks sharper. He's scored a few goals in pre-season, looks good. Him and Zaha have been linking up well. So I think this year again is his time to shine. I mean, before his injury, he got an England call-up, and he was meant to be getting called up for the Euros as well. So I think Eze could be the guy for us this year, especially if he's fit.
Yeah, I agree with Jace as well. He's a very talented player. But my thing with Eze, he's got that bit of a Mesut Ozil syndrome where it's like you feel like he's not working hard, but he's working hard silently. He's one of those guys where I feel like he's not intense enough for me. He's one of them guys, you know when you're at goals and that guy's always slowing the game down. He's kind of like that kind of guy. Just slows the game down, wants to get his touches, but he's a very talented player. And I think this is a big season for him, especially if he wants to. I don't think he'll make the World Cup squad because it's a bit too quick for him, but I feel like he's someone who can cause problems because he can go past you. He can drop a shoulder, send people like, I don't know, Thiago and them man there, just drop in and Henderson and all of that. But technically, he's a good player. So
Thiago with Hendo, too thick.
You know one thing I love about
Hendo today.
You know one thing I love about Eze as well. Like I know what Brian's saying. Sometimes I watch him and that you're so talented, but sometimes it's almost as if he's going through the motions. Like he's not giving his 100 when he is, but it just sometimes it looks like he's not. But he reminds me. Obviously, he's nowhere near as good, but he's such a powerful runner. Like when he's in his stride, so that he's, when Gerrard was in his prime, like Gerrard, as in when he's running the ball, it's kind of hard to stop him. He's just like a train. That he's a very powerful runner. But I agree with you, Brian. Sometimes you can go through the motions, man. But he's got a high ceiling.
Yeah, and also his finishing's got improved. He should have scored.
Oh yeah,
he scores then. I feel like you don't salvage a draw. If not even
a draw at least, 100%.
Yeah, momentum shift straight.
Yeah, that was a big chance, man.
Yeah,
great pass from Zaha as well.
Yeah, very good.
Pass, KDB-esque pass from Zaha. See, changed his game. You know what I'm saying?
He's got goals and assists now, not just dribbling.
Exactly, isn't it? Yeah.
Another question quickly. What's you two's thoughts on Will Hughes? Because I just think he's been so underwhelming for you lot, man. At Derby, I saw a player. Again, I saw a player. And then he's just been a bit too underwhelming, man.
He's one of them signings, I think. He's one of them signings where he wasn't. I don't think he was brought in to like be a game changer for us. I think he was brought in to be a squad player for us. But when he has played, he's been sharp, but he's been underwhelming as well at the same time. Like he hasn't got any assists, any goals for us. I think. Actually, one goal.
He got one goal. Everton.
When he battered them, innit?
Yeah, Everton. I remember like 5-6 years ago at Derby, he was meant to be the next big thing. Next big thing. And I think he's the player where he would probably be amazing in Spain, but in Premiership. He's got it really. But he's a good player, like tidy player, very technical. Links play between defense and attack well. So like he's definitely useful in our team, but maybe looks not a starter right now.
Yeah.
One
technically good.
Go on, right?
Yeah, sorry. I'll say technically good, but I think he's just a bit too on the lightweight side to play that PL ball. Like you look at guys like Schlupp, Eze, they're a bit more stocky, they're a bit more heavier. Hughes is a bit small, but he's still a good player, but just a bit small.
That's a segue. What I was gonna say, I think the evolution of Schlupp it's been amazing because I saw Vieira at Leicester and I did not really rate him, but I feel like you two agree his decision making can still be a bit better.
Oh, piggy, very very crazy, yeah.
But I think he's come on leaps and bounds, man. I think he's come on leaps.
Very good ball carrier.
Even that transition into like a kind of 8/6.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Vieira's done a job with him.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, but I still don't think he should be a starting 11 player for Blackpool if we want to take it to the next level.
He's
a good player for us. I mean, he's a good player, but if we want to go to the next level, he should be 23-man squad player. not a starter.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you're both. Sorry, Jay, I know you're just about to go off, but you both have said this in the conversation throughout. Going to like the next level, going to the next level kind of thing. Is that something that since Vieira's obviously come in, you can see a bit more that, we can actually take this to the next stage? Like, it doesn't have to be, because when you mentioned about like, you knew with Hodgson, you're going to finish in these kind of positions more or less every season. But it sounds like everything that you're kind of saying, all I'm hearing really is, now we can do more, we want more, but you can almost see that at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. That's kind of vibe I'm getting anyway, which is good. But do you guys see that with Vieira coming in? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think like JJ was saying at the start, like we're an established PL club now. Like we're not just here to stay up again. We're not like we're done with that. We're trying to go for the next stage. And I think under Hodgson, his own vibe was like, I'm just trying to keep y'all up. Like just playing nice football, win. Like I ain't trying to win. I'm just trying to stay up, get my P's and stuff. But with Vieira, he's a winner. Man's won leagues, FA Cups, World Cup, everything in football. So he knows that I want to win stuff. And I think with the players, the profile players he's bringing in, Michael Elise's, Mark Gurhey's, Anderson's, guys that teams like you lot want. Like, I think a couple pass players will start for Liverpool. Easy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And that's where I'm just saying couple, not a lot, couple.
Let's take about 3 or 4, bro.
Yeah. And I think to get to that next level, that's the kind of players you've got to bring. And with Vieira's whole like mantra, that's where we're looking at. And that's the ambition. I think every club wants that, particularly when you've been in the Prem for at least 5 years. It's like, where can we get to next?
Yeah, 100%. Quick one before I move on. Obviously, I think Marque, big up Marque for that comment as well. He's saying Ebiowe, again, top youngster. Now, what do you guys know about him? Because I don't know if people watched that BT Sport documentary that was out last season, but it was about kind of young player from South London as well. And they were kind of talking about kind of him and what he was trying to do. And you saw him. This was maybe 2 seasons ago now, maybe even last season, but. It was about he didn't really have a club and that he played really well, but he had like an attitude problem and stuff. And if I'm not sure if he went to Rangers last season or was it Celtic?
Derby.
Derby, yeah, it was like Derby.
He came. Sorry, he's come from the Scottish League. He went to Derby and then. Have you guys signed him on a permanent? Have you guys signed him on a permanent now?
Permanent, yeah.
5 years,
Okay. So how are you guys feeling about that signing? Because it seems as though when he came on, he looked confident. To say the least, against the Arsenal team. That's a big game to come on. Especially, I didn't realize that Elise was injured. So I was like, rah. I've seen this guy before. And I was like, realized, oh, yeah, look, you got one. Obviously, he's from South London as well. So I guess that makes it's like that Eze. It makes it that much more special. Someone that represents that, the Mandem. How do you guys feel about Ebiowe?
So I think he ticks all the right boxes so far. I mean, he got it from cheap from Derby because I think they're going through like financial problems. Derby fans, like, they were absolutely gutted to see him leave. And I'll be real, I haven't seen him play much football like at Derby or in Scotland, but from what I've seen so far in terms of like the Arsenal game, he looked very confident. When he played in the under-21s against Brighton, did you see that performance from him?
Yeah, he was moving mad still. Even against Man United, he dropped Fred.
Even in the preseason against United, he looked very sharp. So I think at how old is he? 18, 19. I think he's got a big career, maybe not at Palace, but next few years at Palace, if he stays, he'll be a good player for us. I think even Rooney liked him a lot when he was at Derby. So I think he's ticked all the right boxes. I think, he'll be good for us.
Yeah, and I think before he came to us, it was us and United who actually were going through obviously the Rooney links and everything. And apparently he turned United down. Now, I don't blame him because you look at United now. I think Ebiowe, he's got a very bright. Again, I haven't seen a lot of him, but from what I've seen already, I already know he's better than Jordan Ayew. Far better than him.
100%.
Like,
I hate that man so much. I hate with passion.
Clear of him.
Everyone in here will be better than Jordan Ayew, bro. Everyone in here will be better than Jordan Ayew. I promise you.
Yeah, we got to respect that Ayew name, you know. We got to respect that name. That name holds weight in the Ghanaian.
The Ghanaian culture
holds weight.
It's like Mikel. It's just like Mikel. You just got
for
Nigeria.
You know when Ayew peaked that goal against West Ham? Remember that goal against West Ham? Ever since then, get about my club.
You lot got a little conveyor belt of talent because even Raksai that you've loaned out to Charlton, what a player. What a player. And that's going to do him the world of good, that loan. So The future looking bright for you, though. You know.
And you know what? Yeah, these players. So Elise, Jess, it won't be Malcolm. They're all Chelsea players, like academy players. So Cobham is actually a very good, very good product development centre. All Cobham players.
And I think they're all originally from South as well. Like
Exactly,
Jerry,
yeah.
I think Raksai is Southwark as well.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why it's mad. It's like they've gone for that. You know what? We're gonna get the people that are from our community and follow that kind of Zaha path where obviously Zaha's gone, but they're like, we've seen that with a Zaha. It means more to him because he feels like it's his club and it's from the area, and there's that kind of bond between yourselves, the fans, and then the players. So yeah, I fully get it. That fully makes sense.
Let me ask all of you, bar Ash, because I know Ash is obviously not from South London, but I know the rest of you are. Yeah.
What you want about? Go Sam. Can you not tell with the
accent? Sorry. My apologies. Nah, but obviously I'm from West London, and when I look at when I was younger, and I looked at like all the boys from South London making it into, like, as you said, like your Palaces, your Chelseas, and all these other teams, all I kept wondering was, how do you lot have this big of a pool of players? Like, it seems like everyone in South London can kick ball. Like, I don't understand how you have such a mad conveyor belt, and not just at Palace. I'm talking every kind of team in South London, if you want to say that. But it just seems like you have such a big conveyor belt. Where does that even come from? Like, honestly, let me know so I can put my son over there. You know what I mean?
I don't know about Brian, Jason, and Jay, but from my experience, I don't want to just put the typical demographic, estate, cage, or whatnot, but that's what I come from, innit? I think once you're in there as a 6-7-year-old playing with that 11, 12, 13-year-old big men, it just grows you naturally. Literally, Mark Cage just said it. It's literally cage football, because I grew up on an estate and it just gets you ready. And I feel like it's more prominent in South. Obviously, East and Northwest as well, but South, I think it's more predominant. That's just from my experience.
There's that intent. Like when I used to go kick ball in Kennington, like I used to always think to myself, nah, this football is different than any other type of football that I'm kicking in West. Like that was where I really learned, like, okay, if you're coming over here, you guys already know, I don't even have to tell you. If you're coming to play cage football, there's no messing around. Like, if you come in, you look shit, that's it. That's game done. You're not coming back here again to play. That was the kind of... But that's what made me think, like, yeah, I need to up my own game, because...
You've got your little place of ballers as well, though. Westway, bro. When I go Westway and West, I see ballers there.
That's more commercial. That's like more... Yeah. They do have a conveyor belt, obviously, of players down at Westway, but...
Soccer, innit?
Exactly. Yeah. But you feel like with South London, you lot are just, there's such a mad conveyor belt.
No, but do you know what it is? G? Like, I'm not gonna like go into detail now, but obviously after the stream I'll tell you guys. But you know, I said it to you guys in the chat. There was an ex-player that's gone down goals, Jason and Brian, in Eltham. Prem player the other day. He's gone, and obviously let's not say the name because I don't want to really go into that. He's gone down goals. So guys that who are obviously don't know in the chat, goals is like a football center. It's like pitches. It's like 4G pitches, loads of pitches, 5-a-side games. Now he's gone down there. Now I wasn't playing this game. I think I don't know what I was doing. I think I might have been doing a stream. And my brother messaged me. Was like, "Oh look, X, Y, and Z players here. He's not that great." And I'm like, "Wow, what are you talking about?" And my brother was like, yeah, like it got bad, as in people in the cages, like they started shouting, 5 years ago you were in the Europa League and now you're getting chopped. I mean, on a Monday night, and they were berating it in the goals. And I think that type of environment, not to get in there, it just shows you like it's bad. Something happens, and you see it with like how SC Dons are even, and big up what they're doing as well, because I know a lot of them as well. So big up, but that type of environment where they're going to the goals and you're doing this, and there's a culture there where it's similar to anyone that watches basketball, like the pickup games that you got in America, where there's come on the courts and then everyone's surrounded. When you go to goals, and we've all seen it, because especially Palace fans, you got literally the training grounds right. You got Crystal Palace training ground, and then you got Beckenham goals right opposite. Opposite. The players that have even gone and trained there, afterwards they go to goals, and then they link up and play their football there, and then you see there's a different kind of attitude towards it. It's more aggressive. Obviously, I can't speak for obviously Roms, Brian, and Jason, but that's what I've experienced. So when you play, you have to play with a certain level of pride, and it means you're getting intense, and there's none of this And as Brian was saying, you know, there's players there that you said with Eze, they like to take their time on the ball and take touches.
Yeah.
When you're playing goals, you ain't really got time for that. Everything's very boop, 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 and you got to play really, really fast. So that
Just
kind of type of talent.
That's what Jerry's saying, that it builds character, because it'll get to a point. Most places in South, you go to a goals or a power league, if you're dead, you know about it. Players will literally say, I don't want him on my team, or kick him off. Like, it's character. Like, it builds character.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know why this comment made me laugh. Sorry, guys. Big G.
Mark, you must be South London as well, then.
Just to add on to JJ's point as well, like you're talking about culture. I think, like, if you watch basketball, like a lot of the ballers come from LA, because just the culture. If you're a baller like Paul George, Russell Westbrook, like so many LA ballers, similar in football, so many South London ballers. Like you got Zaha, Smith Rowe, all of these guys. I think it's just the culture, and also, like you said, big population.
I mean, Abraham. Couple days.
Yeah, there's so many to name. Joe Gomez, he's from South, and I just think that pool of talent. South London is obviously the biggest area in London, and I think we've got the biggest population as well. And obviously, because we relate to them more, we see them come through. So yeah.
No, it's true. No, it's just, I've always wondered, always used to think to myself back in the day, like, this is unfair. Like, I'm one of 3 guys who are from this side of London, but then you've got the 10, 15 South London players, but everyone was good. So I used to always think, nah, mum, we might need to move to South London and maybe sort something out there, because this ain't really working.
Guys like Sancho there, ruining our name though. Sancho's ruining our name.
Give him.
He's kind of putting South London a bit.
I think it's from West now. I think Sancho's from West. He's only lived in England.
It's on his boots. It's on his boots. He's South London born and bred.
Yeah, people don't even call, you know, the Kennington pitches, people don't even call it the Sancho pitch anymore. It's just back calling the Kennington ground. That's it, man.
It's a mad Brian and Jay. I was saying to these in our group chat the other day that Ian Carlo from Leeds, Reece Nelson and Sancho, that they're literally not far from me, and they always used to roll around in threes, and all of their careers just kind of not even plateaued. It's kind of just gone down.
Nelson, I forgot about Nelson.
Nelson and who?
Nelson, Sancho, and Ian Carlo.
Ian Carlo, yes. Yeah.
He was the best out of the 3, you know, growing up. Everyone thought he would be that. They were all going to blow, but he would be the one to hit the highest. Yeah, and out of the 3, you would say Sancho, but all of them are just, man. But they've been...
I think with Poveda, I think he recently got an injury at Blackburn.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
He's a great player, man. I played with him once by accident, like at pitch in where I'm from, and bro, like I've never been nutmegged that many times in my life. And Jerry, you know how much times I hate getting ripped. He ripped me so much.
Solid to the right, but Jason would hate it. Like Jason,
good player, man.
That's another thing, G, that to add to what you say. And look, Jason just said it there. One thing about South as well, you'll turn up at goals or power league, and there'll be pros there. Like I remember lockdown, I was playing with I forgot his first name. You know the Johnson guy from
Johnson.
Bradley Johnson.
No, not Bradley Johnson. Johnson from Preston, and he's got the locks.
Oh yeah. I know this one.
I was going to Elton goals, so they were just there, like lockdown, and everyone was just trying to keep fitting that. You will just go and someone will be there, bro. So that's another thing as well. It will help you because your level has to naturally rise. You're playing with pros, and they'll call you out. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
100%. But cool, Liverpool. Trash result. Let's just get into it.
Be respectful, be humble, please.
No, listen. Garbage result. Like in the last game, Mitrovic made us look. I can't believe what Mitrovic was doing. Mitrovic was doing Cruyff turns in the middle of the pitch. Do you know what I mean? He was making Henderson do backflip and breaststroke at the same time, and we're on grass.
Jerry, no one gets me more mad. Do you not get more mad? His performance against Wolves was mid. Like I'm not gonna look 9 minutes, but again, one of my boys, Fulham fan, and when he was streaming, he said, "Bro, he was mid." So it makes me even more madder how good we made him look the week before.
Yeah, so it's like where do we go? Where do we go from here? Is it as easy as saying, you know what, the Reds are going to be back? They're going to get their 3 points because we're seeing now our players are dropping like flies. We know, obviously, I don't know if you guys Palace fans know, but Liverpool desperately needs some reinforcements in the midfield.
Yeah,
We
so
can't rely on
Thiago's injured, right? For a month, Thiago.
Yeah, Thiago's gone.
For time.
Kea, isn't Kea there?
He's
Keita-
back now, Keita.
Keita's always
Keita's
injured.
back.
Jones is out.
He ain't good anyway.
So who's starting tomorrow in midfield then?
This is the question, isn't it?
We actually don't know.
No one knows who's going to
No
start in
Harvey
midfield.
Elliott? Harvey?
Yeah.
Harvey, lads.
Harvey?
I think the one we all agree on is Vino will start, but the other two,
Yeah.
that pick and mix, that lucky dip,
Yeah.
games in the hat, and he.
Fabinho got hooked. I think Fabinho got hooked.
How about Morton from the youth land?
He probably did, but
He's on loan. We loaned
The
him.
loan. Are you loaned him out?
Jason is mad because Klopp was speaking all these things of him, but yeah.
He gets 80 Milan, right?
And I quote verbatim was like, "Wow, Morton, hey, what a great player." The next day he was loaned out. It was that man's doing magic tricks with us. Like, do you know what I mean? We got Morton disappeared. Like, no, it's mad. Guys, what are we saying? Huh? Like, obviously we predicted saying that, you know what, we might get a draw. We're not that confident. Roms, we didn't ask you, Roms. What are you saying for the game? You think it's a win?
Prediction or just how I think it's going to go?
I think it's going to go. Do you think we're going to win? Like, don't give a score prediction yet, but
We'll just about win that. I think the goal margin will be by 1. I actually think it's one of them games where I think the performance will actually be good, but it's not reflected in the scoreline. However, I think Palace will cause us problems, and there's going to be maybe a controversial decision that goes against them because let's be real, the top 6, they are influenced by refs. It's facts. But I feel like Palace will be hard done by, but it's not going to be a battering or anything. For me, it's a goal margin, but they're going to cause us problems. Anderson, I think if we can try and nullify Anderson and Zaha, especially that ball to him that Brian and Jason alluded to earlier. Yeah, but look, by no means, it's never really easy against Palace, never. So, yeah, I think it'll be quite a tight game. And I don't think there'll be no goals in the first half. I think we'll both go into half-time goalless, and that'll be very good. That'll be very good for them.
Yeah, Rom's quick one. Are you saying that because you're going to the game and you don't want to come back with loss or a 0-0, or you actually believe that? You know what I mean?
No, bro, I honestly believe it's going to be a tight affair. I think we'll play good, but it's not going to be no battering. We'll win, though. I do believe we'll win that. I think you just said we're not that confident. I think you think we're going to draw. I feel we will win. I will say that, but it's going to be by like a goal. Like, it's not going to be no battering or anything like that.
Now, G. the question on everyone's lips, man.
Chat to me.
How are we feeling with obviously the midfield and obviously the injury now to Matip, which means that obviously it looks like Gomez is going to get the nod at the back.
The problem is you're playing against a Palace side. Forget who they play. Like, it doesn't matter who they play in the middle. Whoever they play is going to be probably more experienced in that middle of the pitch than whoever we play in there. If we're going to play, say, Harvey Elliott, for example. Can you imagine Harvey Elliott up against whoever they're going to put in the middle? Realistically, that's a battle that I don't think defensively he's going to win. Maybe attacking sense, yes. If we can get the ball enough to him, then maybe. But in a defensive sense, that's where I worry. Deep the fact that we've literally all just said we're worried about Anderson. He's the centre back. He's not the guy scoring goals, you know. So we're worried about him because we know what our back line is like. We know what Trent is like. There's too many weaknesses I'm seeing in this game that a team like Palace can exploit. They don't need to have all of the quality players because that's not where the game's going to be won. It's going to be won in those areas versus Trent. You know, Zaha 1v1. It's going to be, can we close down Anderson quick enough? If not, he's finding. We know he's going to find someone. So then that's where my issue comes in, because I think the team, if they're going with the same mentality they did against Fulham, Palace are better than Fulham. So Palace will come and they will score and they will shock. All Palace need to do anyway is quieten the crowd. Everyone knows quieten Liverpool crowd. I promise you, if you quieten that crowd, that game is totally different. You're not facing Liverpool versus the 12th man anymore. You're just facing Liverpool. And if you can isolate that, it's kind of a tricky game. And I just think Palace have enough players in their squad. I'm just looking now, like at the team, but like even just thinking about some of their players, that could be a bit of a tricky one. It could be a bit of a tricky one, man. I'm worried about players like Anderson. If someone like Nunes starts, he don't really look like a presser. He don't look like someone who's going to press Anderson. So you're going to give him time on the ball, but then that means he's going to find time to pick someone out. So catch-22, man. Catch-22.
Ash, you look worried. I'm not gonna lie, you look worried.
Man, I never look like this. This is what you three do to me. Like, I was the most optimistic Liverpool fan you've ever seen, and then I met you three. That's it. Do you know what? I'm gonna reflect what G said. We think we're gonna win this game. We've got more injuries. We're lighter in midfield. Palace are a better team than Fulham. Everyone's talking about Zaha and Anderson, and I think Crystal Palace's midfield are going to out-hustle Liverpool's midfield. Fabinho, we're talking about Fabinho as this best central defensive midfield. Fabinho has been poor for a while, in my opinion. And Decore, fresh, wants to make an impression. He's going to be at it. Everyone's going to be up for playing Liverpool. Slup, for me, like Rom said before, physicality-wise, he's going to match Henderson. He's got more legs than Henderson's got. I think it's going to be difficult. I think they're going to win that midfield battle. One man last week, Palhinha, he dominated our three midfielders, our three best midfielders, Thiago, Fabinho, and Hendo. So if he can do it, this quality of team can. I'm worried, Jerry. That's all I'm going to say. I'm worried. And even if Nunes starts, I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe Salah. I'm just hoping Salah. Mo Salah.
Nah, because Salah versus Mitchell. Salah versus Mitchell. We already know when Salah comes up against a fullback who is fast and can tackle. That's not even done. Salah's not getting no love from that side.
Big up UG, because you even called it last game with Anthony Robertson. You just ate him up.
Anybody fast, Salah, for some weird reason, he just cannot.
The only way he gets success against Mitchell, and it's not even success in that point because you cut in, but you have to just cut in and keep playing. Crosses or play to the middle.
You know what Klopp's going to do, though? You know what Klopp's going to do? He's going to play the Flintstones. Have you seen Hendo with his new beard and Milner with the new beard? They look like the Flintstones. He's going to play Fred and Bam Bam in midfield, and he's going to probably bring like Jay Spearing or something from the academy team just to make up the numbers. I'm telling you now, Milner's going to start tomorrow. And Hendo's going to start. And we know Fabinho's starting, so it depends on whether Milner plays at right back or whether... I just can't see that midfield's going to be crucial, and we're not going to have.
We needed a Thiago. We needed a Thiago, someone just a bit more cuter in the middle. Where when Palace are, trying to overrun us in the midfield, because I don't feel like they're going to try and use the wings too much. Because I feel like they could easily use that middle of the park and just kind of congest it, and then you've got the outlet of maybe Zaha, Elise if he comes on, like whoever. But I'm telling you now, man, that midfield is going to be a tricky area, bro. I'm telling you.
Do you know what I was going to say? Maybe Trent. But looking at the way you lined up last time, Zaha could be free tomorrow. If Zaha's free with Edouard up front, doesn't have any defensive responsibilities, because Slup, natural left-sided player, plays on the left side of midfield, central midfield. He's going to cover for Trent. He's going to press Trent. He'll put pressure on Trent. Zaha, if Zaha is free with Edouard up front, I said this before the Fulham game, when there's two on our back two, we struggle. And that's what could happen, I think, tomorrow. It's at Anfield, though, so anything could change, but
that's what I think our ground will get us over the line, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all.
I think when you think about it, get the fact that it's at Anfield and the fact it's the first game of the season at Anfield, it probably makes that task a bit harder from a Palace perspective. But at the same time, I guess you can look at it and think, like, obviously, the Palace, the Liverpool game for Palace, from a Palace fan perspective, it's a free hit, isn't it? Because you're going into it knowing this team is better than us. They're challenging for the leagues. We're not at that level. If we do lose this game, you can probably see Vieira has looked at, the opening 10 fixtures and said, how many points can we get out of here realistically? He's looked and chalked off Liverpool. City, whoever else you've got, and we just said, you know what, we're not going to get much change out of these teams, but if we can get 3 points from here, maybe a draw here, it helps our season. So
Jerry, just to add to what you said, not only I think it makes it harder for them, first game at Anfield, but also the fact our performance was so poor last week, going to demand a reaction. And like you said, because it's the first game back, that's where I think it could get techie for Palace. But word to what G says, there's always that spell where the ground's quiet. And if they capitalize on that, it'll be a long evening, man.
Marquez saying that obviously Palace probably start Mateta to run channels and target Gomez, who's poor areas.
Yeah,
on top of that,
that's a great point.
On top of that, as well, Gomez hasn't played. Like Gomez is the type of player that he needs a run of games. Like he needs a run of games to be on top form. We've seen that when he came in against was it Salz? No, who was it? No, it was Strasbourg we played, isn't it, guys?
Him and
Konate. Yeah. Like, listen, if you want any Palace fans are watching, including obviously you guys, Brian and Jason, if you guys want to go and see what happens when you put, a Konate and a Gomez together and what the team cooks up, literally, you guys would be laughing.
Smelly.
Really? Why was that for? Just no composure.
No, it was almost Sunday.
No leadership.
Don't let
it bounce. Ball's bouncing.
No, and it's just as well like balls bouncing.
Chaos.
Stepping out into left back and your left backs. In the midfield, and it's just a complete mess, man. It was a complete mess. So,
Obviously, guys, let's also Brian and Jason. Any normal season, I'm coming in here saying we're cooking you 100%.
Of course,
because this season isn't a normal season, and because of the way that we've been playing, and remember, like everyone's alluded to at the beginning, this ain't the same Palace. We're not talking Hodgson Palace where we kind of know if we just kind of get in their faces enough, we could probably like roll them out. This ain't the same team. The team that I'm watching recently, this is a whole different kind of energy that Palace are starting to bring recently. There's way more confidence in just your own playing style and the things that you guys are doing. That's what's worrying me, because I feel that we're not there yet. We're like, for some reason this season and during preseason, I don't think we found what's kind of working for us at the moment. I feel like you guys have already found what you need, just maybe player wise, et cetera, et cetera. That's the worry. That is the big key for me, is tomorrow is where it's going to be won and lost, is just the tactical battle.
That's where I'm different to you, G. I don't even think we're smoking Palace any season. Palace turn up against Liverpool every time. So that's why I'm like, tomorrow's going to be even more difficult, because our team is so much weaker than last season. I don't think it'd be interesting to see what you think, Jason and Brian. Out of Liverpool's squad, which players would you swap aside from Mo Salah, which is an obvious one, and maybe Trent? You don't know about Salah.
Listen, let me explain. Listen, Elise is 19. Salah's 29. I'm not trading him for 1 season.
For a season vet.
I'm joking.
You get 4 seasons out of Mo.
I'm joking. Okay, in your squad, I would take Alisson, of course, Van Dijk, of course, Thiago. Darwin, I'll take Darwin over Teta.
But Thiago's only going to be fit for 10 games.
That's true. Trent, over Klein for sure, definitely. The guys that I wouldn't trade. Go on, sorry.
No, go on. I'll go after.
I was going to say the guys I personally wouldn't trade would be Zaha, Elise, Anderson, Gerhi. And everything else is free reign.
Wait, what? So you would take Van Dijk over Gerhi Anderson?
I would take Van Dijk. Actually, only him. No other centre back. Not Konate.
Yeah.
You've got good centre backs, to be fair. I was
gonna say.
I can't argue with that. As good as Matip and Konate are, I can't argue.
He's my one. He's the one I'm looking at, thinking, he's probably.
He's going to start for England. He has to. World Cup. I'm sorry, he has to start for England.
Be Maguire and Stones.
I have Tomori just ahead. I rate Gay, but
Tomori. Tomori.
Why can't Tomori and Gay play together?
I see free tap.
Because Maguire's got to play in it.
Yeah, Maguire's to play.
Harry has to play in it.
I see free taps in it.
Exactly, man.
You know what? This is to Ash G and Jerry. One player we actually have to look out for once he's introduced, because he will come on. Brian and Jason might disagree, but Milivojevic, because he's a good set piece specialist. Like they fixed
the way they put on this guy out my club as well, bro. Him and Jordan Ayew, bro.
No, but listen, the way they fix their face is how we fix our face with Hendo and that. But I just feel cool. Let me explain that context, right? Once he comes on the 65th, 70th minute, which Vieira tends to always do, that he comes on ahead of Riederveld more times.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I know Robbo and Trent, sometimes they're frantic, maybe coming back. They're going to target Elise or Zaha. You've got height. You're a team. The majority of your players are over 6 foot. For me, I think if you was to give him some credit, Milivojevic has quite decent delivery. He's a good dead ball specialist, from what I've seen anyway.
Used to be, not anymore.
Yeah,
now
bro,
we want Eze and Elise ahead of him on like free kicks and corners.
But cool. But I said a bit void there, because I was going to say he might be on the free kick. We are going to give away silly free kicks. Like, we know this. Yeah.
So are we. You've got Trent and
don't even. I don't think Trent's that.
Now Trent, you know what? We say that, yeah, but Trent from like a dead ball, is not as good as you think. Like he's not. Like, he scores one free kick a season.
Yeah,
literally. I think delivery-wise, Trent's good, but from direct free kicks, like he's not.
Yeah, I think he's even better with his delivery. But when he's moving with the ball in play, I think he spots. But when the ball's just from it, like dead ball, he's not as good. Like I think there's better like De Bruyne from a set piece. I'm more worried about his delivery there. Even James Ward-Prowse, I'm more worried about him than Trent. But obviously, in-game, Trent obviously ridiculous with his passing range and stuff. So.
Crazy.
Jerry, quick question.
Yeah.
For any Liverpool fan, last season, how was your corners like in terms of attacking corners? Was you any good?
Nah, set pieces. We were always good with set pieces.
Yeah. Like Brian was saying earlier on, I think us and Leicester are the worst team at defending corners. So I think that's going to be a key area tomorrow for you guys.
But we've not got Konate.
Our big up Ash, because our biggest threat, Konate, I think he got 4 headers, was it? Last season, especially in Europe.
Yeah, 4 headers.
He's not here. Like obviously, we still have
Konate is not here. Matip, who gets more goals than obviously Van Dijk and Gomez
Jota.
as well.
Van Dijk doesn't score goals. People act like
Van Dijk's not that.
It's actually true. It's few and far between.
I mean, attacking wise, he's not that effective. Gomez has never scored a goal for Liverpool in his career.
When you said that to me the other day, Gomez
from set pieces is garbage. Like, let's just be honest. It just does. He's not a threat.
Do you know why though, JJ? Do you know why Gomez at set pieces is kept back? He doesn't go forward for set pieces.
Yeah, but
he stays on.
Yeah, but that says a lot.
It does say a lot. But he's not big, is he? Like he's not physical. He's not that dumb. If you've got Van Dijk, you're gonna think, right, who's taking the corner? Robbo's taking the corner. I'd rather have Fabinho in there than I would say Gomez. Thiago's decent aerially as well. Jota's not in the team. Thiago's good early. Like I'd get Thiago in the box for headers.
Thiago is in the box for headers. You know, it's mad. He's always in the post.
Cool. That's something that's gone over my head, bro. Because I've not really seen it.
But we've no Jota, no Konate, no Matip. They're the 3 highest goal scoring.
We're gonna try and play football tomorrow. I think that we're gonna try and put the ball on the ground and try and pass them around as opposed to trying to score. Because I think they've got height. They've got too much height, man. I don't even think we'd even attempt unless it's from corners. We're going to try and pass that.
What I'm saying is obviously alluding to what Brian and Jason were saying though, that last season and obviously as well, they conceded from a decent set piece move with Zinchenko winning the first header, which is mad.
I think you just put in a good area.
If they're that bad from set pieces, Liverpool are really good from set pieces because even if it is going back post and then coming back in or whatever it might be, we might be able to work our way in there as well. You know, like in the Kop, the way the Kop starts singing it literally pulls the ball into the net. So maybe we'll see, man. But up front, guys, Nunes has to start in it.
Of course. I think he gets the win. We'll go into the score prediction later, but I think he actually gets the winner still. But I think he's going to struggle the majority of the game. I think Gay and Anderson are going to have him locked up, especially if we try and play airily, because normally I want us to whip in them crosses and but them two will eat him up. So I think he's going to have to try a thing with on the ground, and we know what he can.
Bro, we saw what he's like on the ground, bro. Like bricks
Yeah.
on the. It's not, man.
But yeah, front three I think picks itself. Diaz.
But do you actually think so? Because Firmino, obviously, he started the last game. Now, if we play Núñez and it's not working out, our only option is to bring on Bobby.
Yeah, that's it.
Bobby's bad, man. Like
I'd bring Carvalho on.
I feel like that about. I feel like
Really?
that about.
Is that bad?
Nah, man, he's not
From
good
the
enough.
bench.
You can't press.
From the
No,
bench.
even when he starts, you can't press. You can't pass anymore. He hasn't got the legs to get about the pitch.
Yeah.
So, what is he, a midfielder or is he a false nine? You can't do.
How old is he now?
He's 31.
32.
Oh wow, okay, fair enough. I reckon it might be last season then. How long is left in 20?
Yeah. He's got. This
No,
is
they're on
what-
about signing a new contract, though, isn't it? Was he on about
Yeah.
signing a new contract?
I mean, it runs out in the summer, Jace. But
Yeah.
I don't know whether that will get signed or not. But he's just bad now. Like you can't play him in the 10 because his passing isn't as good anymore. He doesn't press as well. Where back in the day when he didn't get goals, you could be like, right, you know what? But he's linking up the play really well, and you can see our patterns of play really good. And then when he's shooting, it's like he's got pillows for boots, isn't it? Like there's only so much power you can shoot with pillows for boots, isn't it? There's only so much power you can get in the shots. But you're just not really a threat, man. You're just not really a threat.
You know what's so mad? The way he started last season, I thought, not he's back, but I thought, yeah maybe you could try a thing. Because this hurts Brian and Jay that he's my favourite player of the Klopp era. So when he's being spoken like this, I just have to shut up because it's nothing but facts. But you know when you have that player that you hold close to you, I don't really like to comment too much, but the ship sailed now. It took me a long time to even accept that, but yeah.
How long do you think it's been like this for? Like a couple of years or just last season or?
Couple of years, man.
Couple of years now.
For being honest, couple of years. He had a good stint started last season. And we thought, Bobby could be back. Then it just.
Rums, I'm with you on this one. Would you rather Bobby just leave positively now? Because if he plays this season and he has a stinker, fans are going to be like, remember Bobby having a bad season, where Bobby's been crucial to everything that we've done. Would you rather just like, I would have rather gone this summer and kept Mane, to be honest. That was never going to happen.
If you're offering me that, of course, I'm with you, Ash.
But would you have got rid of him in summer just so he could go out on a high, like, yeah, Bobby's been a good servant to the club?
Had we had a bigger squad, yes. But no, not
right
now, no.
But I've said it.
Would you have kept Minamino over Bobby?
Yes.
What? Really? That bad?
I would have.
Who's more available? Who's more available? What's the point?
Different option.
Actually, I'm even mad. I wouldn't have. This is sentiment. I can't lie. This is sentiment coming into it. I would keep Bobby still. Because I still think Minamino, let's be honest, other than that Southampton game, Minamino in the Prem, he didn't really
That guy is dry as hell, bro.
He didn't get a chance, though. He didn't get a chance.
Okay, cool. He didn't get a chance. He didn't get to do this. That's great. But he's gone. I don't even want to see that guy again.
If Demo's in here, he's coming for you, though.
Demo, let's go. Because Minamino was dry food, man. He was so dry. Honestly.
Where's Ox? You haven't said nothing about Ox.
We're not even going to talk about Ox.
We don't even say
his name anymore around Liverpool. It's long.
We call him number 15. We don't even call him.
Scored against us last year. You know he scored against us last year. Oxley.
Bro,
probably
Listen, Brian, if you want him, please, I beg, then you can have him.
Listen, you know what? I think he's at FIFA headquarters doing like the new FIFA launch thing. He's coming with the boxes. That's why we pay him 120k a week. So we can come in with the FIFA boxes and show everybody the ratings for this season. That's
you know what, Brian, with that said, he actually did well on that right in Salah Mane's absence, but then just got injured again. He's just not available. I think West Ham even inquired with a 10 million bid, and then I think they kind of thought to themselves, actually, we're not really that serious about this guy because he's not going to play. It's hard to even sell him now. He's on good wages. But no one wants him because he's just never available. He'll try. Listen, he'll literally bend down to do his laces, and his hammer will go. That he'll struggle to find a club. I think next season because of his injury record. He might. Let's be honest. He might have to retire. He might have to call it a day. He might just.
He can. His missus is the highest earning female band, whatever it is. Retire, go and enjoy the sunshine. Go and like create some new music or go like do something. Just don't take up the wage bill at Liverpool, innit?
Yeah, do it is. It's sad, isn't it? But when you look at just Liverpool's midfield in general, man, it's like Naby and Ox. Just you can interchange them. They're always injured. There's always something going wrong. Like
Thiago's more injury prone than
no him as well. But that's my point. Is that you base your team around these players, and then they're not available, and then we give Milner another a 1 year extension on his deal, so he's going to be 30 by the time his contract ends up at Liverpool, and there's always another extension coming in. Yeah, I mean next season.
JJ, do you think James Milner is going to be the first? I don't know if Teddy Sheringham was like that age, like 40-year-old outfield player.
As long as it's not at Liverpool, then great. He can be there.
I think he will be though if it is.
I think he'll be at Liverpool. I think he'll still be there. I think he's going to be here for another 2 years.
Player coach, man. He's a player coach, basically.
Player coach, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. In the next 2 years, he'll be a player coach. Right now, he's not. Right now, he's back up for Trent at right back. And he's the first option of
Ryan, Jason, any season tickets going? Anything? I'm not seeing James Milner at 30, 40 years old at Liverpool.
Like, Brian and Jason, what club do you know where every midfielder is injury prone? It's actually a joke.
I was going to ask you guys that. So go on.
I had a fellow Liverpool fan say, I said our whole midfield's injury prone is that Fabinho's not. I said he's not but he gets that annual injury that he has that 3-4 games a year where he's out, and then he actually said, "No, you're right. Like all of them get injured. It's so frustrating. So
it's them inhalers, man. It's them inhalers you lot are using. Charlie, catching up, man.
Do you not think it's anything to do with like the training program? Too intense training, maybe? Or...
No, I do blame.
I've said
you said that, Jason. I blame that.
Pep
the guy we got from Arsenal, the head of physiotherapy. He's the guy we got from Arsenal. Something more. Is it something Morgan? Yeah, I blame him.
He's a problem.
We all know historically that, let's say, last 10, 15 years, Arsenal were always riddled with injuries.
Yeah.
And the minute he left, now their players don't really get injured like that. Come to us. All our players are getting injured.
Yeah. That's crazy.
We joke about Pep Linders, right? Pep Linders going, chase. We love to chase. And But, right, when you think about this, if you're chasing something, you're not in control. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're in midfield, if you're chasing, you're not in control. Whereas you look at Man City, they'll press and push you to one side. That's all controlled. Everyone else controls it. But this chasing business, that's just a recipe for overstretching and doing your hamstrings. Yeah. It's the style of play.
It is 100%, man.
Klopp out, yeah? It seems you're angry at Klopp style of play.
Don't say that to G. Don't say that to G.
Is that what you're not saying? Is that what you're saying? Klopp out. Is that what you're saying?
No
Sounds like it.
No. In Klopp,
what I'm saying is, you see how you guys speak about the next level, innit?
Yeah.
You see how you guys speak about the next level? There comes a point where, for me anyway, it's like, how often are you going to keep finishing second and find that it's all right?
That's true. He's
how often
it has to be another level. It has to be another level.
Because otherwise we're in that same position where when you think about it, we're not down, mid-table and stuff, but essentially we're making up the numbers for top four, because whether you finish third or fourth, it doesn't, third, fourth or second, it doesn't really matter because you're not winning the top prizes. So we've been successful, more successful than we've ever been with Klopp, but that doesn't mean we can't be more successful. So you see that phrase you went and said there? Ask me at the end of the season.
Yeah. So if the season doesn't pan out to how you want it to be, you can say maybe you're underachieving with Klopp right now.
Klopp's never going to be out. Like, there's no point bringing that much heat on you at the end of the season, because Liverpool, it's a match made in heaven. They're never going to get rid of Klopp until his contract's done.
No, they're not. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to demand like excellence all the time. It's like with anything, innit? It's like if Liverpool won the league again, or won the league, I'll be like, yeah, but you got to win it the next year. Then it's not like you win the league this year and then you fall off to fifth and we're all comfortable and it's just like, it doesn't really matter. Like, no, you can't keep finishing second. Like, you have to go and finish first. So what I'm saying is, it depends. Like I said, ask me at the end of the season, because if there's mad injuries but we still manage to pull something off, great. But if we go and finish fourth, or fifth or something like that, then put it this way: if Klopp was at Chelsea, if Klopp was at like, you know what I mean, all these other teams that back in the day that were like top, he would have been out. Like if he was at Real Madrid, he would have been gone. You see what Real Madrid has done with their managers. You see what Barca have done with their managers. You don't win the league this year, you're out. So they're the teams that are like they're striving for excellence year on year on all fronts. So that's where my head's at.
And then Jason, I've always thanked Jerry. I feel like I say it every stream. I said to Jerry in pre-season, I've got no expectation for this season. I said second and maybe quarterfinals minimum. Anything else is a bonus. Jerry was like, Roms, no, why are we made to feel like that? With Liverpool Football Club, like a lot of our families, I've been going back and forth with, we all have, to be fair, this past week, but there's an abbreviation called TOTRES, right? And I've been going back and forth because what it is, a lot of our fans, could we went 32 years without winning the league. Now we're there, it's like, oh, you can't criticize Klopp and that. Like, look what he's done and that. And none of us are down. What he's done for us is great. Like, he made us relevant again. Word to G. G said it last stream. He made us relevant again. But it's like the whole point of elite sport is to win and maintain. That's how you create dynasties and that. And a lot of our fan base are just happy being the first to lose. Like, I put out a tweet saying, if we had the next 3 seasons in a row were like last season, so only winning FA Cup and Carabao. Yes, it's 6 domestic trophies over the
pennies. Just have to admit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
no goals. Was there no goals?
Look, you're even bringing it up. Like a fan said, yeah, but it's 6 domestic trophies and 90+ point. Again, I said, but is it any of the big 2 that we deserve? Because we claim we're this second best team, or some, according to some fans, the best. Claim we got the best keeper, right back, centre back, DM.
It's true.
Only got one Premier Champions League for the show. Like I keep saying, when we sold Mane and we did the appreciation post, everything was ×1. And I actually looked in and I got vexed and I'm thinking, for how good we've been, why have we only won the big 2 once? But to our fans, you can't criticize him. Look, he's done it now, leave him. So we're just supposed to accept second because of what he's done 2-3 years ago. It's a joke. But then we get called negative and shouldn't support it. It's crazy. But we all ask for, I know I can speak for us for, we want to win. That we want to win. And it's simple as that.
I'm saying Vieira in at the end of the season.
Leave him alone, bro. No one near him, bro.
But it's games against Palace that we're looking at, and we're saying, like, the fact that we're all sitting here, and obviously not to say that I don't think we will win. I think we probably will end up winning. But the fact that I'm coming here to have a conversation and I'm not even super confident. You think Man City are coming having a conversation with you, telling you about, no. They're not worried. They're not worried about anything.
No,
they're worried about themselves.
They're their bogey team. They actually
fair enough.
The one team,
you know what I mean? It's that kind of, we're coming into this and it's like, we've only had one game, but in that one game, we saw deficiencies that we've seen for the last 4 years. And that's what kills it. So we're coming into a game against Palace, it's the same thing. But I shouldn't come into a game, like, no disrespect, but I shouldn't be coming into any game if it ain't against Man City or maybe Chelsea at a push, where I'm thinking, yeah, you know what, this could be a little bit, no. I should be coming into the game on a bounce and saying, nah, we're winning. As in, I don't care who they've got. I don't care what threat they pose. We need to be winning these kind of games. And that is the difference between the nearly men and taking it to that next level, which is why we're always trying to strive for the best. Like, it's crazy.
You know what, G, Jerry, and Ash? God forbid this was at Selhurst this week, because I'll be saying I'm taking a point. I'll be saying now, I'm taking a point.
Look at the smile on Brian and Jason's face.
Liverpool don't like that tight pitch.
The boy for a while, you see him with his new missus, and you're like, right.
The only reason I think we're scraping a win is because it's at Anfield. If this was at Selhurst, I'll be saying, listen, I think we're getting a draw maximum. I'll take a draw from now. Especially with the current squad.
I want to go back and just ask you something, G. Last game, we finished 2-2 against Fulham. That's disgraceful because the performance didn't deserve a draw, right? But then Liverpool fans coming out, oh, yeah, but we've got the most points in a calendar year, and all this, right? It's embarrassing, really. It's embarrassing.
Unbeaten in 2022.
If it's a draw tomorrow, G, the same's going to happen. Everyone's going to stay positive. Oh, yeah, but Crystal Palace are a good team. If it's 2-2, would you rather it be a loss so people start to realise?
Yes. I already know what you're about to ask me, and yes.
Absolutely. Liverpool.
I pray if it's going to be something like that, there's only two options tomorrow that I want to happen. Either we get slapped by Palace, or we slap.
For my
There
sake,
is no.
Jerry,
there's no-
clip
there's
this.
no
Please
medium.
clip this.
There's no, yeah, clip it,
Please
that's fine.
clip this.
There's no medium. There's no medium because the reality is, if they don't come out with a performance that actually shows you, yo, we're actually trying to win the title, we're actually trying, then I'd rather you just get slapped so then everyone can see, look, these are the issues at the team. We need a player. We need this. We need that. Because at the moment, we're in the middle. If we draw against Crystal Palace, it just might still be a bit like, nah, don't worry. When the players come back, we'll be all right. Palace are a good team. We know this already. Like, I'm sick and tired of just the
United
bullshit.
next week as well. United next week.
No,
And I promise you, United will turn up next week. I can guarantee they will turn up.
This is where I object,
yeah? Sue and all of that,
Bro.
This is where I object because I always say that our record at Old Trafford, bar last couple of seasons, stinks. But I was saying we're not going to smash them. Like both games, I was saying it. Even the game at Anfield, but they're that bad, bro. Like,
I know.
I think we actually will. But big up Ash for that point because we're just not us, but our families is shameless. We keep bringing up we've not lost in 2022 in the league. What do you do? Like, what does that mean?
Like, who cares?
What does that mean?
It's embarrassing, isn't it? Do you know what? Jason and Brian thought they were coming on this show defending Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
They ended up defending Liverpool. They're literally defending Liverpool.
It's mad. Hold on. All right, my computer's bugging out, guys. So, G, you're gonna have to, before we do the score predictions, can you just read out a few of the comments and just?
Why do people trying to beef me all the time? I don't get it.
But it's glitching up. Like, listen, I don't know what's going on, man.
Can't criticize the club, G. Remember, you can't.
KZ for days. Did you guys see Klopp's presser about the money? Like, how are we still broke? Like, again,
bro, I'm not having this.
The money's there. We had the highest turnover the last campaign, bro. The money's there, bro. 615 million. Don't ever forget.
We've broke even. This transfer window, we broke even. We've not paid all the money up front for Nunes. We only have to pay that back if he's successful, which is a win-win anyway for Liverpool because the money will come in. Like, we've sold Mane, we've sold Nico Williams, we've sold other players off the top, Minamino, Origi. We've made the money back, what we've spent, and our wage structure. We've got more money to spend on wages, so I don't want any of this chat that Liverpool have no money. We're actually, like, having a profit for this summer transfer window. So it's mad that Klopp even comes out and says things like this.
Yeah,
it's just again, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like when you're speaking in this kind of manner, in this kind of tone, and that's the message that you bring out to the players. If for example Vieira was perfect. Vieira's at Palace. Obviously, we know who Vieira is, and we know obviously he's managing Palace. But we know that Vieira is Vieira. Do you know what I mean? Like he comes with that big reputation. Do you realistically think he's coming in with anything less than if he was at Arsenal or anywhere else? He's coming in with the same energy towards Palace, regardless, because he knows if he comes any less, Palace are going to play less. But he knows that we're trying to take this to the next level. So yes, of course, he's not coming out screaming, yeah, we're going to try and go for the title, or we're definitely trying to look at Europa League position. He might not say that, but as Brian was saying earlier, that's your ceiling. You know that inside the club already. You don't need everyone else to know that, but you guys know that. And as fans, you also can see that. So you know the energy that Vieira is going to bring every single week to every single thing that he does is going to try and push to that. Right now, we're getting a manager who's almost scared to say he's about to do this. You get what I mean? It's like he's scared to really come out and say, yo, I'm the big dog. I'm the big dog. Yeah. I'm the guy that who's trying to win this Premier League, take the title back off Pep. It's too much like of this baby stuff, man. I need some, I need a guy with a bit more cojones, if I'm being honest with you.
Just on that, actually, the Klopp presser that KS 4 days has said, what's the relationship like between Klopp and FSG? Is it good?
That's
a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
You've got two stubborn people, but not in the sense that they're stubborn against one another, but they're stubborn against what the masses think, that they're kind of, you know what I mean? So FSG don't really spending money like that. Klopp doesn't. So if they've got a manager, that's why he signed an extension. I honestly believe that's why he signed an extra 3-4 years, because it's a match made in heaven, man. They have a brilliant relationship. As long as we're getting Champions League, it's rosy for them. And by Klopp, we said it last stream as well. Klopp don't really care about his legacy. I don't think he cares about being successful now. And it's a match.
We're not saying that Crystal Palace are like Barcelona. Big up Vic Mackey, man. We're not saying that.
Mans are talking about Crystal Cabin, that they're flipping classic Barcelona. Oh.
You man are running. I can't lie. You lot are running from the grind.
Man.
You're saying you lot. It's the club. It's Klopp. Like, we want that. I want to be able to come here and say, like, with the confidence of, bro, like, we're winning. I don't care what team they put out. I don't care what team we put out. We're winning regardless. But I can't even do that anymore because there just seems to be a bit of a disconnect between perception and reality. And right now we're in the middle of, I don't know, Matrix right about now. It's a bit crazy. It's crazy.
KZ for days and Trudon are going back and forth in this chat, by the way.
Oh, bro, I've already seen there's like a million comments. Guys, calm it down, man. Don't worry. We all want Liverpool to win, man. Trust me. We want Liverpool to win. We just have a different way of going about it. It's from Realism, Jared. Klopp suits our fan base perfectly. This probably answered the question. They have an inferiority complex, are happy to compete and celebrate second and making finals. You get what I'm saying? This is coming from other people. You know what I mean? Like, this is for people to see and understand. Like, this is the kind of thing.
Bro, don't, man. I took him out my fantasy as well, so I'd be even more annoyed.
Is Mark a Palace fan or Liverpool fan?
It's for
he's a Liverpool fan still, but he's a realist like us.
He's a realist though.
No, okay.
Gmwk here just saying, hold on, I just wanted to read this out quick. Gmwk saying, I just listened to Klopp's press conference 20 minutes ago, and he said we have several options to solve our problem. One of them is the transfer market. We have to get the right, I assume, player.
Was this press today?
It must have
there
been.
was a press today. There was.
If you'll speak out the one on Friday, I chose not to listen to that because I just would have went mad. So if that's one to me.
What Brian Jason, I don't know if you guys have, if he's brought one out or what was Vieira kind of saying before this game? Like, what's his kind of like thoughts behind it? Or towards the game?
I can't lie, I didn't watch it. All I saw was at least they trained all week. That's what I needed to hear. At least they trained. Be good.
Real.
You say we're gonna lose the free hit. I don't care. At least they's trained. I'm good. That's what I need to hear. But
you wouldn't start.
I guess
though, would you?
I personally, I would start him in it. I think if at least it's fit, he plays. But because I don't think he'll start him because Jordan Ayew is a better team defender, even though it's an overrated concept. But he's gonna play Ayew because he's better defensively, even though that's not really true. But
But to be fair, Brian, at least last year when he came on from the bench, 60 minutes, he played just as effective as he did when he started. So I think if he starts or comes up as a sub,
like he'll come off. Like if we're like 1-0 down, he's gonna we're gonna bring in the hitters like Ebioe, Elise, Mateta, Eduardo, whoever's starting. But I would start him because I think we need to go at Liverpool because they're under pressure. Liverpool lose, the title's done. Because City ain't gonna drop 5 points.
No, it is. I've said this.
If Liverpool lose, they lose.
Yeah, they lose 100%. We're not catching City. So, we tried to catch them with 2 points last season. We did it this year.
Because City are not even a 5-point gap.
It's not even the fact there'll be a 5-point gap. It's the fact that we're gonna lose more games. If we lose, if we draw to Fulham and lose to Crystal Palace, we're gonna lose somewhere else. We're gonna drop more points. I can see City the way City have started. City could literally win every game if they wanted to this season. Like, it's that mad. City are that good. They're just a different level to everyone when I've seen them play so far this season. It's madness. Haaland plays shit, and they still roll through. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And they lost Jesus, Sterling, and they're just looking like nothing's happening.
And they're still looking like it's the same team that we've seen for the last 5 years. Like,
you lost money. You lot are looking smelly.
But can you tell the difference though? Can you finally see we lose one player and we are like, this is World War III. Man City have lost all of these players, and you wouldn't even. I could take a tape from last season and play it this season. You don't even know the difference.
And it looks like Bernardo Silva might be leaving as well, which is just mad.
And they don't even care. They don't even care.
I'm telling you, no. If Bernardo Silva goes, Jude Bellingham is going to go into Man City. I'm telling you now.
I think it's Paqueta. I think Paqueta's verbally agreed, and that's another baller. But
Yeah,
John's going to be upset, Jerry. But Paqueta's apparently verbally agreed. If Bernardo does go, he's going there.
Oh my god!
That's why I think he's waiting there, because there's clubs Paqueta can go to now that have given him offers, but he's waiting on
that City.
Yeah.
And if he goes to City, that's another player they've got in it. Just another one in the rotation. That will probably start for any other team, but is where it is, man. Razor quickly saying, Razor quickly just saying, Jerry, why do you not rate K. Gordon? I don't rate him because he's on that popcorn diet, that secondary school diet in the morning. That rainbow thing. He's not fit enough. I don't think he's that good, man. I just don't think he's that good.
He isn't.
Lightweight. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Like he just
sweets for lunch and that. Sweet, no man, he eats sweets for lunch.
You like monster munch in the morning. You know, you had that way that kid. That like his tongue was red in the morning. You're thinking, what?
Right before school as well, boy. He might even be one of them, man. Like, Rod, did you have breakfast this morning? Like, no, like I'm not that hungry.
I had my coins and
yeah. Didn't even finish them. Didn't even finish them. Just had 2-3 out of the packet and
yeah, that because he wanted to get straight into the refreshers. And
you know what? I blame Wayne Rooney because I think he brought him into Derby and he said, "Oh, he's gonna go to these next levels." We probably took that as gospel and thought, "Yeah, let's try and get him in."
Yeah.
Like, come on, do you actually think...
No one here rates him at all.
He's decent.
Right.
I don't think he is decent.
I'll be real, but all I'm saying is, I think this is where Klopp and Linda's got it wrong. The second leg of Carabao Cup, we started him at the Emirates. G, you were at that game, innit? Bro, he just looked like a rabbit in headlights. He didn't know what was going on. But I'll be honest, that's the only time I've watched K. Gordon. I think these three can have a better opinion because I've not watched much of him.
Yeah, watching
K.
Gordon again. Yeah, I'm just about to get onto Jono's comment, but even just onto...
Oh, shit, Jono, G's coming. G's
sending
coming.
for man. He's sending for man still.
Jono's going to hate us.
With Kai Gordon, you saw it like, they're obviously, again, he's super lightweight, but when I saw him playing against the likes of like your Martinellis and even, I think it was Tommy Yasu potentially played right back that day. But when I'm watching him play and he's switching sides, I'm just thinking to myself, bro, like if I blow too hard, you'll fall over, and that didn't bode well. And this is against a team who are not, I mean, Arsenal are not a big, strong team. You get what I mean? They haven't got like big, strong players like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like you really need to up the diet in some way. You need to do what Trent's doing. Whatever he's doing, whatever diet he's on, follow that same diet because he's now top heavy. So you need to just change it up. And Jono, hear what I'm saying? It's got nothing to do with that one game. It's like we've been talking about these things for years. All of the performances, the certain players, the overhype. Rom said it earlier on about, yeah, we've got the best goalkeeper, we've got the best centre back, we've got the best DM. That's what the fans have been telling people. But the trophies don't tell fans this thing though, because I'm seeing the actual Cruz, Casemiro's, Courtois, your Kevin De Bruyne's. I'm seeing those guys picking up the trophies that we're bigging up our players for being so good at actually doing. So the reality is we're a good team. We're fantastic. Yes, we're probably the second best team in the country. But, boy, being the second best and being so far off of Man City, I'd rather be the 10th best because what's the point? We're not doing anything. Bunch of nothing.
Our famous manager that revolutionized the club, Bill Shankly said it. I think it's first, you're everything. Second, you're nothing. You're nothing. I don't know if that's quote for it's word for word, but it's around. He said that quote in some way, shape, or form, and it's like, don't Liverpool fans clock what we're about? Like, it bugs me, man.
Yeah,
I can't even disrespect other teams purely because this isn't. If we were playing Norwich, maybe Bournemouth, the energy will be totally different because then I'm saying, we're not losing.
If we're playing Norwich, G, I'm worried because then we're in the Championship, so I'm worried then.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. But you know what I mean? Like, if we're playing against those teams, yeah, I'm not really worried. But this is a new season, man. Like, there's gonna be some shocks and there's gonna be some surprises. Who's to say that one of the surprises isn't that Crystal Palace pick up a result? Until I start seeing Liverpool going through at minimum, and I do mean minimum 5 to 7 games unbeaten and winning all of them, I'm not gonna be happy until that time.
Yeah, and just to address that as well from Jono as well, saying that and our fans think we're a shite team. Yeah, some fans might think that. I don't think we're rubbish at all. I think
I don't think we're rubbish. Yeah.
That's the best we've ever been in my lifetime, and arguably we have the best players that we've ever had in our history. Yeah. But the facts remain the facts. We still keep coming second. So I still want to go. I don't want to sit here and think, oh, you know what? This is the best we're ever going to get. Because what happens when Klopp goes? What happens when Klopp goes in a couple of years or in 4 years when his contract?
Gerrard, isn't it? Gerrard, isn't it?
Nah, man, you're trying to send me to an early grave, bro. I haven't even had a thousand. No. Gerrard, listen, I didn't want to get into that, but he's just not the guy. But that's what I'm trying to say is that you have to maximize the position you're in, and because of the position that we're in, we have to go and try achieve as much as we can. Because when are you ever going to get the all components to be right, where you got the best players and you got the best manager, and it's all a marriage that works? Because you've seen it. United have had the best players but trash managers, and it's been garbage. They've had good managers with shit players. It's still garbage. You've seen it, and we don't want to go down that route again.
If we're being honest as well, I know it's kind of off topic, but even when we won the league, if we're being completely honest, would you say it's because KDB got that mad injury start of the season and they had 2 or 3 other big injuries? Without them injuries, do you reckon we would have even won or ran away with it like that?
We probably could have won it, but we 100%
slightly, though.
You know, this is how I'm going to back my club. You know, a lot of fans are saying
asterisk on it, bro.
We had it won before COVID.
I knew this.
Had it won before. We were at 20 points clear, bro. We had it won before COVID with like 8 games to go.
City, you got to remember, bro. Like City had to have a stinker of a season with injuries and stuff for us to run them. We're the second best. So the reality is, who else was going to win the league that season? No one else was going to win it. So we were the next best team to win that trophy.
Yeah. We're discrediting what Liverpool did, though. That season was like...
No. That season was fire. That season was absolutely fire. But let's look at the facts. City had injuries and played absolutely atrociously. That is the only time City don't win the league, is when they're playing crap.
No, I see.
You're not realizing all the time since Pep has been here, in the years that they haven't won it, has only been because they've just been rubbish.
I see what Ricky said. No, Rick, that G said it was an incredible season to get this time to actually get the second highest points total ever and win the league. Of course, over the moon. I'm just chucking a little span in the works. If City didn't have all them injuries, you know what I mean, would we have been as clear, if not even won it? But no, obviously it was incredible. See, first time I've ever seen my team win the league in my lifetime. So,
we were real consistent. I've never seen us be so consistent like that before. Like that consistent game.
Bro, we need to go the record that. Yeah. I think the record's 19 games in a row. No one's ever done that, but we matched City's in it with their endurance count, 18 wins in a row. That's crazy. That's nearly half your games. That's crazy.
Do you think that season, 1920, 17-18 we were pretty sharp. 18-19, unbelievable. I think that was our best season.
Yeah, that's the best.
19-20, as soon as we won that league, we talk about mentality monsters. It changed straight after. We lost games. We started drawing games. As soon as that happened, do you think we've just mentally signed out and thought we've done what we have never done for 30 years? And now we can go down as the first Liverpool team to ever do it. So anything from now is just a bonus. Do you think that's what we're thinking?
That's like the fan base as well. I think the fan base and the players, the majority think like that. Like, because it's been so long, we finally done it. We can relax for the next 3-4 years. That's what's happened. That's not even just in the players. That's in the majority of our families. But you can't go to the Emirates and have Reece Nelson scoring, bro, and then getting slapped 5-0 at the Etihad to Manchester City. No,
true.
Man. No.
Sure, and even that season that you guys are talking about, before we obviously we're going to score predictions.
That's what I'm saying.
Gmwk here saying like, what didn't City have Fernandinho playing at centre back?
Laporte was injured. Remember, he was out for like the whole season. I swear.
Going up here and then even here, big up Guardiola as well. I don't know if it's Guardiola. But Pep Guardiola is telling us Fernandinho and Otamendi in defense was haram. So yeah, man, that was horrible. But before we guys wrap up, I'm gonna go around and sorry guys, first of all, for people in the comments. My whole thing's moving mad, so I can't see any of the chat. I only see the last one. Everything's glitching, so I know it's my end. So yeah, apologies for that, but I'll try to read them out next next show. I've starred a couple of them, so I will read them out. So appreciate that. But I'm gonna go around and do score predictions before we head out. So G,
I'm going 2-0.
All right.
I'm going 2-0.
Well, that's more.
That's confident.
than I
That.
thought.
That's
What?
confident.
Boy, 2-0 can be a lot of different ways, boy. That could be one.
2-0 who?
Boy.
What? 2-0 Liverpool, I assume, yeah.
Yeah, 2-0 Liverpool.
All right, Roms.
Can I add detail with mine as well? Literally, we win 1-0. Trent to Nunes, and Nunes will get the winner. 85 minutes plus. It'll be cagey. It'll be nervy, bro. But we'll win. We'll nick it 1-0 with a good performance from Palace.
Brian.
You should win. I think, but yeah, I'll go on a limb. I think if Elise plays, there's asterisk. If Elise starts, I think you can get like a 2-2 draw. I say 2-2.
Okay. Yeah. Jace.
I think if you're lucky, 2-1 Palace. 2-1 Palace.
Give boy.
Listen. All right. Ash.
It's going to be all over the place. No Matip, no Kanate, Gomez coming in, no midfield. I can either see 4-3 Liverpool.
You just said that.
Wow.
It's mad. Like either 4-3 Liverpool or 3-2 Liverpool. I think we'll win. And I think that'll gloss over so many cracks again. And it's going to
That's why I think we'll win.
I think we're going to win 4-3 or I'll go 4-3.
Go on, Jerry.
I was going to say 3-2, but I don't want to just hide on that Ash's prediction. You know, I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool. 2-1 Liverpool. But I feel Palace score first. Palace. Who scores? I don't know. Maybe Ayew. I think Ayew will score, you know.
Nah, if he scores,
he better score if he plays. He better score.
Better do something.
I feel that probably happens first half, and then second half we have a decent performance where we kind of buck up ideas and then get the 2 and win the second half. So
against Fulham.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same prediction I did for the Fulham game, man. So that's about it. But guys, before we head out, I wanted to obviously just say, Jason, Brian, thank you so much for hopping on. I know, obviously, listen, it's a Sunday night. You've taken, time out your day to hop on. So listen, I'm so grateful because proper Palace fans. I know you guys are diehard, so listen, appreciate it so much.
Thank you, I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, thank you,
It was a pleasure meeting you, team, man.
Yeah, pleasure, man.
We'll come back when Palace play in Selhurst Park, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Predictions might be a bit different.
We might need to have a review of the game. Like the game might need to have a review.
We might have the banners out by then. No, I'm joking.
Vieira in.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
But G, Ash, Roms, tell the people where they can find you, man.
Everyone gone shy. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, G keeping it G, man. Follow me, please.
I'm not even going to promo Klopp Zone or anything today. I'm going to promo one thing. Me and G have dropped some fire today, and I'm not even fronting. Like, make sure you check it out tomorrow. Hycon on YouTube. It's Lords of the Mic, and it's touching on what we've kind of touched on Jurgen Klopp, like the journey versus the destination. So check that out. Spotify, YouTube. It's going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Good one, man. Roms.
Yeah. Romel Andre. The L is a 1. Yeah, I saw my socials. Not just ball. If you want to speak about MMA, boxing, I've watched majority of sports, Formula 1, anything, man, tennis. We can have a conversation, but it's just there.
Yeah, guys. As I said again, my stream's acting up, so I can't even. Check. My whole internet's budge. I don't know if FSG have done something to the internet. I don't know if Brian have tried to discombobulate everything before the game, but it's what it is. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, obviously, to the J James Show. Thank you again, Brian and Jason. Much appreciated for hopping on.
Yeah.
We're gonna tomorrow. You know, after the game, for probably like 5-10 minutes, I'll probably have a quick instant match review out, just chopping up the game. So please just stay tuned for that, people. Stay blessed. Obviously, it's been the Jerry James Show, and we're out, people.
Boom.